D-Tutors, bringing learning to your doorstep.
So, when we talk about government as a subject is not just a topic students can dive in or jump into the middle. Government itself is a very dynamic and confusing subject. When you look at government, the first question students need to ask one another or ask themselves is this government itself, how do we have government? When do we have government? Who gave us government? Is government created by God or by human being? Why is it government? What is the main function of government? Or why are we being governed by a certain set of people? Or why are we studying this? When you look at government as a subject, like every other subject, have a definition. But to some extent, it is said that when you look at government itself, government never have a definition because government belongs to a group of subjects that does not possess just one definition. So we will unravel that. Let's start with why we have government. When you look at government from the beginning of the earth, is there something they call government? Do we really have the creation of God? Do God really create government or the government itself is being created by man? Basically, looking at the theories of governments are, or we have various scholars who have developed different theories on why and how we have government. Let's start from the social contrast theory. When you look at this social contrast theory of government and state, basically the social contrast theory is being written and documented by three famous philosophers. We have Thomas Hobbes, we have John Locke, and we have Jean-Jacques Rousseau. When you look at these three philosophers are philosophers with diverse opinion. When you look at John Locke on the other hand, John Locke is a philosopher who believes Earth from the beginning is in chaos. Earth from the beginning is what we call war. It said every human being on earth before government is in war with one another. He believed every human being is brutish, poor, nasty, and even not being able to accommodate one another. But according to John Locke on the other hand have different opinion from that of Thomas Hobbes. Thomas Hobbes basically is most time pictured as an absolutist because everything he wrote, his famous book Leviathan, everything he wrote in that is just about war, because he believed that from the beginning, man is into war. From the beginning, man is into chaos with one another. Number one of the main reasons he believed man is into chaos is through what we call private property. He believed from the beginning there is no private property. But it gets to a period whereby someone or an individual looked at it and they were like, okay, this land is mine. This tree is mine. This house is mine. And immediately we have private property. Everybody becomes selfish. And becoming selfish, man become what? Starts engaging in war with one another. When you look at John Locke believes, no, the world is not that chaotic as explained by Thomas Hobbes. According to John Locke believes that man has been living with one another with the existence of what we call natural law. When we talk about natural law on the other side, natural law is just a set of law which is being created by man or created by God for man. The number one natural law we need to know is that you do not do what you don't want other people to do for you. Don't perform an action you don't want other people to perform to you. That is what John Locke did. That is what John Locke said. He said the world is being governed by natural law. But according to Thomas Hobbes believed there is no existence of law before what we call government. And to Georgia Kosu. Georgia Kosu basically accepted this too. Georgia Kosu believed, oh, the world needs what we call a ruler, as explained by these two. But the world is not as British and poor as explained by Thomas Hobbes, and it is not as what? As polite as explained by what? By John Locke. And Georgia Kosu said that it is due to the what? It is due to the what? The ups and downs of the world that led to the what? Establishment of what we call what? Government. The people were not interested, or they were no more interested with how things are being governed or how things is being moving in their society. So they what? They just settled down to establish what we call what? What we call government. So looking at leaving the social contrast theory, let's talk about the divine right theory. Basically, we have various theories under the divine right. We have the light of Thomas Hobbes himself and so on. But when you look at the divine right theory, the divine right theory is just an aspect of absolute theory, in which these theorists believe in what? Believe in the leader being given what? To man by what? By God. When you look at it, it is even explained by Sir Leopold in his poem, where he said, the divine king is what? Is the early king, and where she mine. I did strive for liberty no more, but ugly glorious in I wore. A success is an ivory throne, where tyrants there to reign alone. No success, no tyrant dare interfere to all the tyrants that govern here. When you look at this divine right, the challenge believe that this the leader, the king, is being given by what? By God. On the other hand, the social contrast believe that government is being given by the people, established by the people, to what? Given to what? To the people. But on the other hand, here, the divine rights believe a monarch is what? Is an individual chosen by God to govern what? To govern the state. A monarch is the lieutenant, the vice of God. And God is the one what? Forming the government here. God forming the government here. Then choose an individual. That's why we usually pick and look at this what divine right theory as a top-down theory. God as what? As the divine entity, picking a divine individual to govern what? The society, which is a what? Which is a monarch. So the monarch here does no wrong and can only be checked by only God. I repeat, the monarch here does no wrong and can only be checked by what? Checked by God. So in short, when you look at this theory, let's pick the masses theory. Basically, the masses theory is one of the most interesting theory you can ever learn. It is being written by the man called Karl Marx. In his book, Communist Manifesto. Yes, Communist Manifesto. According to Karl Marx believed when we talk about government, when we talk about states, that the state is just an instrument by the what? By the bourgeoisie, used by the bourgeoisie to what? To exploit and the what? And to dominate the what? The proletariat. According to Karl Marx believe when we talk about government, the government is an instrument. The government is a dominating instrument, a dominating entity used by the what? By the arts. Those who have to what? To dominate the what? The what? The proletariat, which are what? The have not. So, in short, when you look at this theory, when you look at government, according to social contrast, according to the social contrast theorists, is the contract within what? Within a society. Contract signed within a society to what? To set up something that can regulate what? Every human attitude. Every human what? Every human being behavior. But to the what? To the divine right theorists, government is being set up by what? By God himself, not the people now. By God himself. And why do we set up government here? The divine right theorists believe that government is being set up. That the God sets up government to choose an individual who is to what? Govern the what? The society on his what? On his behalf. In which that individual can't be checked or can't be asked any question except being checked by what? By God. maybe through debt or anything. Why according to the masses when talking about government?
E-tutors, bringing learning to your doorstep.